Welcome to Epic Summary. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a book that really got people talking. Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life.
That's right.
And this isn't, just another quick fix self-help book. It's a pretty thoughtful exploration, sometimes challenging, about living a more meaningful, responsible life.
Yeah, definitely. We've looked at a lot of the discussion around it to really pull out the core ideas for you.
And it's amazing how quickly it took off, isn't it? Published in January, and boom, global bestseller.
It really was remarkable. It wasn't a slow burn at all. It just ignited. You saw it everywhere online, bestseller lists.
Yeah.
It suggests people were really looking for some kind of direction, solid principles, especially younger people maybe navigating things.
It definitely feels like it tapped into a need for something more substantial.
Absolutely.
And the basic idea is compelling. 12 rules.
Yeah.
They sound straightforward, but when you dig in, wow.
There's depth there. It's been called like a stern guide, but also entertaining.
Yeah, I think that's a good description. That tension is part of it. It doesn't just hand you easy answers. It makes you think, makes you engage.
Which brings us neatly to the first rule. Stand up straight with your shoulders back.
Okay, so on the surface, posture advice.
Kind of, but not really. I mean, yes, posture, but Peterson uses it as this powerful metaphor. It's about facing life, accepting the burdens of being.
Instead of shrinking away.
Exactly. It's an attitude, a willingness to meet challenges head on.
Okay, let's unpack that. We saw some interesting stuff linking this to lobsters, which sounds a bit weird initially.
Right, it does. But the idea is that even these creatures with ancient nervous systems, they react to winning and losing physically. Defeat means slumped posture, lower serotonin.
So the parallel is that our physical state, how we hold ourselves, reflects our mental state and maybe even influences it.
Precisely. Standing tall isn't just about looking confident. It's signaling to yourself, to the world, okay, I'm here, I'm taking my place, I accept responsibility.
It connects back to acknowledging that life involves suffering, right? Something thinkers like Tolstoy wrestled with.
Yeah, Tolstoy looked at the seeming absurdity of it all, how people cope denial, pleasure-seeking. Peterson's approach here is more proactive. Don't try to escape the weight, stand up to it.
So that posture, that stance of responsibility, even when things are hard, that's the starting point.
It's presented as the first step. Think of Viktor Frankl in the concentration camps. Horrific conditions, yet he found meaning by choosing his attitude, his inner stance.
That's powerful. It reminds you that even when you feel powerless externally, how you carry yourself, literally and metaphorically, still matters. It's about agency.
It's about meeting the world with courage, with self-respect.
Which leads into the second rule, doesn't it?
It does. Rule 2, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping.
And this one is, well, it's kind of counterintuitive sometimes. We're often better at caring for others, friends, family, pets, even than ourselves.
It's striking, isn't it? You give a friend advice, support them, tell them to take their medicine, but then you neglect your own needs.
Yeah. Why do we do that? Some discussions we looked at framed it almost like self-punishment.
That's a fascinating angle. Like maybe subconsciously we feel we don't deserve the same care. There was talk referencing the Adam and Eve story.
The idea of inherent human duality, good and bad, light and dark within us.
Exactly. Maybe that internal conflict makes us withhold kindness from ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
We know our own flaws too well, perhaps.
So the rule isn't about pretending you're perfect.
Not at all. It's about adopting a stance of, let's say, compassionate responsibility toward yourself, like you would for a child you're caring for.
Which means?
Well, prioritizing your health, mental, physical, pursuing goals, setting boundaries, doing what's genuinely best for you long-term, even if it's not the easiest thing right now.
Not just what feels good in the moment.
Right. It's a real commitment to your own well-being, your own growth.
That's a big shift. We hear so much about selflessness, which is vital, but this rule says, hang on, self-care isn't selfish. It's fundamental.
It's the foundation for being able to actually help others effectively and, navigate the world responsibly. You can't pour from an empty cup, as they say.
Absolutely. If these ideas are resonating with you, there's obviously a lot more depth in the book itself. We've put a link in the description if you want to grab a copy of 12 Rules for Life and explore all 12.
Good point. And this idea of caring for yourself then flows into Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you.
Seems obvious, right? But is it?
Well, think about it. How often do people stick with relationships out of habit or obligation Or maybe even because misery loves company.
Yeah, friendships that actually drag you down or keep you stuck.
Exactly. The discussions around this rule really highlighted how much our social circle influences us, often subtly. We tend to drift towards people who confirm our biases, even negative ones.
So the rule is about consciously choosing connections.
Yes. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support your growth, who challenge you constructively, who hold you accountable, that can be transformative.
People who aren't just yes men, but who actually care about your well-being.
Right. It creates a positive feedback loop. They encourage you, offer real feedback, celebrate your wins.
And support you through tough times without enabling bad habits.
That's crucial. That kind of support builds resilience. It helps you stick to pursuing meaningful goals. It's about actively curating your social environment.
It makes sense. It's recognizing relationships go both ways. We should try to be a positive influence, and we should seek out people who lift us up.
It's an active choice for mutual respect and growth.
And you can really see how these first three rules build on each other, can't you?
Definitely. Take responsibility, treat yourself with care, then find others who support that journey. It's like a sequence.
It's synergistic, yeah. And this is just the first three. Imagine getting into all 12.
The book covers so much more communication, the pitfalls of ideology, confronting chaos, finding order.
It weaves together psychology, philosophy, myth, science. It's a dense read sometimes.
It is. It's not always comfortable. It challenges you to look at some potentially uncomfortable truths about yourself and the world.
But that's where the value is,
Mm-hmm.
provoking that real self-reflection, inspiring actual change.
Absolutely.
So we've really only skimmed the surface today with these first few rules from 12 Rules for Life. Hopefully it's given you a sense of the depth there and maybe sparked your interest.
Yeah, there's a lot more to unpack.
If you do want to dive deeper and explore all 12 rules, remember there's a link in the episode description where you can find the book. It's definitely an investment in understanding things a bit better.
Ultimately, it feels like an invitation, doesn't it? An invitation to take yourself seriously, embrace responsibility, and really strive for a life that has meaning.
A challenging journey, but potentially very rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for taking this deep dive with us into Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. We hope it gave you some interesting things to think about. Thank you for listening to the Epic Summary Podcast.